Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR. Adults of Reddit. What is something that sucks about being an adult that most teenagers don't realize? You can do whatever you want, but most of the time you either have commitments that prevent it, or you can't afford it. People who actually do whatever they want in the moment end up in jail or on drugs or dead. You spend most of your adult life doing what you don't want. Sort of right on. There are ways to avoid doing the things that you don't want to do, but it usually means that you also will be unable to do any of the things you do want. If it's worthwhile, it will take effort. I spent the good part of a decade living in a shack so that I could go surf every day. The lifestyle was great, but there was no way for me to move forward in life, or have anything that was really mine. So I moved back to the Midwest and got a factory job. Both things that I thought I would never do, which enabled me to have a real house, and I got married, and now all the things that I have to do, I just decided it is what I get to do to have what I want. You can do whatever you want, but you don't feel like it anymore. Sad face. If teenage me knew that 40-year-old me has a virtual reality headset I almost never use, he'd cut our dick off out of spite. Edit. Reddit Gold is a waste of money. Me too. Like, I've got it. I like using it. It's just tiring. Don't have the energy to set all that crap up. I'd rather just sit and blankly stare at the wall after work. Too tired to do anything. Don't want to sleep because then it'll be morning again. Waiting for the weekend and wishing the weeks away one by one. The adult experience. Edit. A lot of people seem to identify with this. If this sounds like you, you should know this comes from a place of diagnosed depression, and you should consider the possibility that you have a similar disorder. Your struggles are legitimate and not resolved with simple solutions. They should not be lightly compared to others. If you're in the pit right now and would like concrete suggestions to start pulling yourself out, my advice to you is here. If technology were to invent a pause button that any of us could use to just freeze time comfortably, and we could just relax for as long as we wanted, sleep as much as we wanted, and enjoy the peace of unhurried, perpetual silence, the human race would instantly end as everyone lives out the rest of their lives in timeless limbo. Edit. Thanks for the hugs, y'all. But come on. You guys are way overthinking this. I tried to explore the conversation below and got lost somewhere around the anime references. You can't stop time, people. Time is literally interaction between particles and waves. If you stop that interaction, the universe ceases to exist in any meaningful fashion. If you accelerate very fast, you may have the illusion of time having stopped, but you'll also be carrying all that energy with you and basically be a nuclear bomb if you touch anything with mass, including air itself. You can, however, learn some very good meditation techniques that allow you to exist and think in their moment and without the burden of past memories and future worries. I encourage everyone to spend a few minutes a day just thinking about one simple thing, like your breathing. It's the next best thing to being able to sneak into girls' locker rooms, which is what I know all you sick frickers wanna do with time-stopping powers, so stop dancing around it. Don't want to sleep because then it'll be morning again. I've never heard a more accurate description of that feeling. Morning blows. Late night anxiety, knowing it'll only get worse the longer you put it off. Rinse and repeat. Spend months at a time exhausted until that's normalized, gradually eroded to a flat surface of a personality. Dude, I've been doing this since March. I've been noticing more and more how my mind, personality, and focus is eroding, and I hate it. I'm starting to really get worried. Have you found anything that helps with this? I've been up and down and left and right with depression for years. I'll paste here my post from a little while back from somebody else who was in a really bad place. The post was different circumstances, but it's still what I can offer based on my own experiences. Hope it helps a bit. I know the place you're in, and I know what the world looks like from there. It's hard. If you're having these thoughts, then your brain is sick. Just like when you have a cold and your nose is blocked. You can't taste or smell very well, so too can your brain become blocked. And you can't smell or taste the happiness chemicals you need to function. But eventually you'll be doing something completely unrelated and think about these circumstances again, and you'll realize that you're thinking about them in the past tense, and suddenly you'll realize that things are changing for you, even though you don't realize it day by day. Eventually they will change enough that you can tell the difference between shittier times and now, and I can tell you that the perspective you're gaining from being this low makes the recovery extremely sweet. If you want concrete advice, I'd suggest the following. Get out of your house every day. This is the biggest one by a huge margin. It sucks, because being depressed saps your mental and physical energy. But this is by far the most simple and concrete place to start. Your body and mind learn to associate feelings and activities with your sense of space. This triggers a chain reaction where you feel shittier and shittier, leave your space less and less, and spiral. You don't need a place to go, or anything to do outside. Just go out consistently. It will help. It will give your days structure and meaning if you don't have that. It will give you an obstacle that you can overcome each day, which in itself will start triggering those chemicals that you need. If you don't have a reason to go out, try to walk down every street near you just to see what's over there. Keep track of those that you visited. If you really can't go for a walk, and I mean really, at the very least take your phone outside and look at it there. Stay away from the places you've been when you're depressed, because they are poison for your brain. If you have the energy, try to shower, shave, brush your teeth, whatever beforehand. But if you don't have that energy, don't worry about it. That's not as important as giving your brain that little reset each day and building momentum. Eventually you'll have more energy. Don't wallow. Yes, there is a perverse comfort in staying up all night and dwelling on the crap that brings you down. Listening to sad songs and watching sad TV all day and moping. There is reassurance in confirming that things are hard for you, that you're in a bad place, that you can excuse your responsibilities and that you face extraordinary challenge. Accept that all of this is true, and accept that dwelling on crappy things does bring a sense of comfort and reassurance in knowing where you are, and then accept that as long as you continue to indulge this form of comfort, it will keep you right where you are. It can be very difficult to let this go, especially if you don't have much support or comfort anywhere else, but it does nothing for you except give you momentary comfort while holding you down. Related to the two previous points, stay away from your sad places. These are probably places of comfort, laziness, or that you spend a lot of time in. Your body does learn how it should feel in these places, and will act accordingly while you are there. This might be your bed, your desk, your bedroom. If you find yourself always sad, look where you physically spend most of your time. Stay away from there. If this means reorganizing your furniture to reset your space, do it, and then be strict with yourself. If you move your bed to reset your space, stay out of the new bed except to sleep. If you feel yourself getting upset, leave those places where you normally spend your time and be sad somewhere else. Take the sad out of your space, one night at a time. Do the first 3 above. They're good places to start. But another good idea is to pick a goal you want to work towards. Don't quantify or schedule it. Those are easy ways to claim failure. Example, if you like drawing, or used to, don't say, I'm going to draw 1 picture a week, say, I'm going to start drawing. That's it. Maybe you want to do 3 drawings. Sure, but don't give yourself a deadline. Don't say they need to be less than this, greater than big, or less than this, greater than detailed. If you feel like you're in a place where maybe you can force yourself to do a bit of drawing, do so until you don't want to anymore. Don't put a limitation on this that can make the endeavor a failure. It feels counterintuitive, but there is zero productivity in that. This is for you, and you can do how much or how little you want, in whatever time you want. But claiming a goal, and then achieving it, can really help to kickstart those chemicals your brain needs to spin back up again. Most importantly, don't trust your brain. You're obviously not in a good place, and your perspective is skewed. It's good that you can already recognize that you are not in a great way. Take that one step further and remember that if you have a thought that most people would find unusual, that's because your brain is sick and you should not trust it. Trust the future, better you, because they're in a better place and looking back on you now, thinking, wow, I can't believe I thought that way. I was very sick. 1. That you will understand both sides of this obstacle, and be happy that you made the right choices, even if they seemed futile. I speak from lived experiences. Things do change. Good luck. Feel free to reach out if you need a chat. 1. Worth a mention in hindsight that this should also apply to your impressions about your life and the world. Often things that seem certain when in this mindset are entirely different when looking back with the better mind. If you're having depressing conclusions about yourself, your life, and others, these conclusions will be heavily tainted by your current untrustworthy brain. Trust the future you will look back, and in the meantime, leave that crap alone. You are always cleaning the kitchen. Looks at kitchen, and if you aren't, you should be. Always doing laundry too. Dishes, dishes, dishes. I feel like doing dishes never ends. Just me and my wife, and often we exclaim, how the hell can two people generate so many dirty dishes over so short a time? Never ends, does it? Sometimes 3 times a day if it's been busy, FFS. 3 times a year if you're my roommate. My condolences. A $1,000 paycheck isn't nearly as exciting as an adult. It would still be exciting if it didn't come with $3,000 bills per month. If you own $1,000, it's not a lot. If you have a debt of $1,000, it's a lot. Damn, this being in-debt thing seems to be where the most money is. I think I'll give it a try. I remember getting a $650 paycheck when I was 15 and thinking, why do I need to go to high school anymore? I can just keep doing this, lol. I used to be a nanny for this one kid and kept in contact with the family over the last few years. When he started working at 17 last year, he would Snapchat me pictures of his $600 paychecks and tell me all the things he would buy with the stuff and how he was ballin'. I would cringe and sigh. My dickhead nephew is 17 and spent $500 on a belt. Before you ask, no, it's just a belt. Edit. My inbox is melting. But to clear up, I live in the UK and was converting in my head. I never saw the belt in question. But my mother said, guess what your idiot nephew spent £400 on? She then described it to me as hideous and white. A lot of people are guessing Gucci. So I'm assuming it was something a lot like this. www.farfetch.com. In 3 years, it won't still fit him. He might start to grow up then. There's never enough time for all the things you need to do. Definitely not enough time for the things you want to do. Doing what you want costs time, money, and energy. As an adult, don't figure on having more than 2/3 usually. I would add to this that even if you had the hours in the day, you still won't have the time because it takes energy and motivation to do things, and sometimes you just don't have enough of that either. When I was a kid, I wanted a magic stopwatch to stop time and do whatever I wanted. As an adult, I think of using that magic stopwatch, but for taking naps throughout the day without interrupting my workflow. I work from home now due to COVID. 15 minutes coffee break is now nap break. My whole day is food. Breakfast for the kids, snacks, lunch, snacks, dinner, meal planning, grocery shopping, making lists of things we need. For someone on a diet, it is torture to constantly be consumed with food. We don't have kids. The amount of time I spend planning meals, shopping for them, and prepping for the week for 2 people is embarrassing. I'm not talking multi-course meals or beef Wellington on a Tuesday. This is just to make sure I have healthy weeknight meals, quick healthy breakfast for each morning, and maybe something a little fancier on Sunday. Every week I say out loud to no one in particular that I have no freaking clue how parents do it. How do you manage to feed kids anything, let alone healthy home-cooked meals, while getting them to school, activities, and going to work? The amount of time dedicated to simple sustenance in a week is outrageously burdensome. The flip side of this is that we've somehow normalized a society where we have so much work to do that we barely have time to eat properly. I think about this sometimes. The world would be a far better place if everyone worked a little less. It blows my mind that people think that nothing you do is worth anything to society unless you're being paid to do it. This may have been true at some point, but today it seems like most jobs are predominantly busy work. One day your body will betray you. Edit. This blew up faster than my kneecap. I hurt my back from bending over in an awkward position to brush my wife's hair. And sometimes from the stuff you did as a teenager. I'm looking at you. Arthritis and concussions. Even though February is the shortest month, the rent is still the same. Yeah, but if you're salaried, the paycheck doesn't have to last as long. I make like 10% more per day in February. Planning dinner every damn night. Thanks for watching LWIAR. The best of recent r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out LWIAR too. And don't forget to like and subscribe.